Fermentation Station, part 2. Okay guys, so we'll keep this one a little bit briefer because I don't think there's too much to show you. Other than, you know, very cool setup I think that I've put together. Just realised that's a little bit of a play on words, you know, fermentation station, all about keeping things at the right temperature. You know, I've created a very cool environment. So it's not funny when you point it out, is it? Anyway, funnily enough, I've also just completed the use of a fermentation station for the first time down at the and so I've just emptied the fermenter, so that still needs cleaning, but what I'll do is I'll show you the latest setup with regards to the build, go through what we have done so far, and also what we maybe need to do next for any improvements. So let's turn this around and I'll start pointing out all the good bits. Okay, so first things first, I know I was going to have some sort of board on the wall there to have all of my inkbirds. I've decided not to go with that, partly because the door was getting in the way, and also I don't think it's actually needed at the moment for what we're going to be doing. So that's gone. Instead, we're just hanging the inkbirds, so one's there and one is going to go there. Still got the cool box down there, and you'll see that we have 2 insulated lot of lines. So this one coming along to the first fermenter, and this one going along to the second. The fermenters are connected to the lines using these. So the intention is when you want to disconnect, you turn you turn these off, and then I'm able to disconnect, and you only end up spilling a small amount of water that's located in the joining sections as you disconnect. I did look for the fittings that Brian at Short Circuit Brewers recommended, but I couldn't get them in the UK, or couldn't seem to, so done that. Also using the bow tie diaphragm spunding valves. Now, something I have noticed during this fermentation is that potentially I didn't have everything screwed in tightly enough because I was losing pressure. So I don't think it's anything to do with the spunding valves, I think it's more to do with me, but it's something to keep an eye on in the future. We've got ourselves our electric blanket, and that's all hooked up again via the inkbird. Now, the only thing that I'm going to state is that with regards to what hasn't gone quite as well as I'd hope in the fermentation of the best bitter is that the original pumps I was using, so that is a 800 litres an hour pump, which according to a forum that I looked at would be sufficient, and technically it is once you get the water actually flowing through, but it's not enough to jettison all of the air through that's currently in the lines. So I ended up having to siphon it to get the water to actually flow to start with. So you know, sucking on a bit of old pipe to get it going when you start needing to cool down, because that was the other thing, that when you switch from hot to cold, every time going back over to cold or needing to cool, you'd need to do that siphoning. So that wasn't great. So I ended up going over to, oh, that water's a little bit dirty, over onto the anvil pumps. Now the anvil pumps, they were, I think it's at 4.3 gallons a minute, which if you do the conversion, I think I worked it out that they are actually pumping out about 3 times as much as what these pumps were. Now I saw straight away the improvement to that, and you know, with regards to no siphoning needed to be done, they just worked. The only thing being is that they do come in American plugs, so I've had to do a little converter or get a little, you know, US to UK converter, so not a big deal, but got that in there. Overall was able to maintain a good temperature, done 18 degrees all the way through with heating and cooling. Problem did come when it came to the method of actually cooling the water. So I got some boxes of water, froze them in the freezer when we were sticking them in the cool box. Problem that I was finding though is that when it came to cold crashing, I only managed to get it down to 11 degrees C. Just couldn't seem to get the water any cooler. Now I think chances are what I need to do is maybe have more ice, less water actually sitting in there, because I think I was trying to, the ice was working too hard to cool too much water. So at the moment, as we have a look, you know, there's a good hand's depth of water, whereas in reality you only need enough water to actually just cover the pump. So if I reduce the amount of water in here, then the large amounts of ice will cool the lesser amount of water to a greater extent. The next possible step would be to get some sort of AC unit or some other form of cooling unit to then get this water colder. Thing is, in the UK, getting a cheap AC unit that is a real AC unit isn't very likely. I have seen a couple of aquarium water coolers, so I'm not sure what temperature they get down to, but they're about, the one I saw was about 80 quid, so I might look into that. It'll be interesting. I'm going to do another brew day just using the ice, but overall, you know, it's something to think about in the future. But yeah, so we got all the pipes tied up to the wall. We insulated nicely, didn't suffer too much with condensation, only on this bit here. So yeah, really happy with the fermentation station so far. And yeah, I do still need to sort out the electrics in here, but that goes for the entire garage, not just for in here. With regards to the cool box, I have just taken a little bit of a chunk out, and that allows us to just fit that down like that, nice and easy. So that's about it, guys. Let me know what you think of the setup. As I say, so we've got, you know, the 2 potential 60-litre fermenters in there now, so exciting stuff's going to be coming up. And yeah, like, subscribe and comment below with anything you want to see in the future, or if you've got any recommendations. Right then guys, take it easy.